Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Finger Guns Podcast with Tony, Dave, and James. I'm your U.S. Election Eve co-host, Jimmy, and I'm here with
Dazzling Dave.
Yeah,
Big T, Tony B.
Yeah. I want to change it up tonight. I don't know.
I was gonna say, how did I get before Big T?
I don't know.
And
It's Tony, Dave, and James. So I don't know. I put you and then I don't know.
It's cool, bro. It's cool. Cool. And we're going up before.
Sometimes
the reason we're recording this early is so we avoid the election.
That's why we're election Eve, right?
Okay,
like we're early. You can.
It's like a few days early.
Yeah, whatever. Because they have the weird Tuesday law thing, which is still fucking bananas bonkers.
Either way, we don't want to compete with the U.S. election. No. We want to come to you and come to your ear holes early so that we avoid whatever happens next week.
Cues up the movie Civil War.
Because
Ohio starts eating dogs.
Because no one is going to want to listen to us bitch about movies after whatever happens on Tuesday. I'm sure you might not even want to listen to us bitch about movies now, but we do appreciate you listening. And we appreciate your patronage, and we hope you've been enjoying this season as much as we have.
We love you, Finland.
And India.
And India.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And our American listeners as well.
Yes, we love all of our global partners who don't have to deal with any of the stresses that some of our other listeners may have to.
Yes.
Big shout outs to Dominican Republic and Trinidad as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why, but I was just going to
that took me for a second.
I don't know why. I don't know why. It just seemed like a right thing to say. Yeah. But we appreciate all of you. We love you all.
We hope you're well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, why don't we just get into bitching about
what are we
getting all sentimental?
Yeah, why are we taking long pauses? Let's fucking go, guys.
I don't know. Let's go. So we got some best mo worst.
We do.
All right, I'm gonna go last in this order lineup. So dealer's choice here. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
All right, Tone, give me a best.
Hit me, Tony.
So for my best,
thrill
you. This movie is almost 20 years old, which makes me feel like an old bastard. I am talking about Tim Burton's 2005 picture, Corpse Bride.
Oh.
We
shit.
Oh, Dave's choking.
Do you need a sec, Dave?
No, I'm
You caught yourself?
I just remembered that I saw that movie in theaters.
I also when we were watching it, I turned to Melissa. I was like, I remember convincing all of my friends in high school to go and see that movie.
High school, right? It was 2005.
I was in we were in grade 10, James.
God.
Yeah.
I had started university.
God.
Good times. But anyways, so me and Melissa,
Corpse Bride, the actual stop motion animated film
picture.
That's actually directed by Tim Burton.
That's actually directed by Tim Burton and another gentleman named Mike Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. It's got There's two of them for sure. Yep, Mike Johnson.
Unlike The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is called Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, but it's directed by Henry Selick, but nobody remembers.
Correct.
Lovely.
So, little anecdote.
Yes.
Me and Melissa.
Anecdote.
Am I going to be able to tell a story, or are you going to fucking interrupt me again? I just
say the word right.
So
English is definitely not my first language.
This is the Finger Guns podcast with Tony, James, and Webster's. Fucking
Webster's dictionary over here.
Yeah.
Tony, tell me all about your anecdote.
Anecdote.
Thank you.
Good. What do you got for me? Tell me a story. Paint me a picture.
Anyway, so
thrill me.
Me and Melissa celebrated our 3rd wedding anniversary this weekend.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we went to a pop-up Tim Burton experience in Toronto. It was like a whole kind of experience. There was like a a host and like a little bit of a party. There was like a scavenger hunt. There was a costume party. There was Tim Burton trivia, which I was a finalist in.
Oh, fancy.
And just seeing the memorabilia again, watching Beetlejuice fuck around and do Beetlejuice-like things, just got me into the spirit of Tim Burton. And I hadn't seen Corpse Bride in a while. And ironically enough, there was a couple that was dressed as Victor in the Corpse Bride.
Sure.
They did not win the costume contest. Obviously,
Rough.
the person dressed like Lydia as a bride was not Lydia. Lydia. Right? Lydia. Yeah, they were dressed as a red bride from Beetlejuice.
I think her name's
They won the costume contest.
Okay.
But anyways, Corpse Bride. It got me thinking about Tim Burton, and I haven't seen the Corpse Bride in a while. And
Lydia. Catherine O'Hara is Delia.
Delia. Yes. Okay.
Delia.
Carry on. Lydia. Yes.
So Corpse Bride.
Yes.
I don't know the last time you guys saw this movie, but it
2005.
It is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is short, sweet. Like it is. You're in, you're out. Amazing.
Yeah, I don't remember it being long.
No. Amazing performances from Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's really, really good. Helena Bonham Carter is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Emily Watson.
Sure.
Richard E. Grant is the big bad.
Oh yeah. I love Richard.
And
Why didn't you start with that?
Right? And he is just next level.
Yeah.
There's nothing much else to say about this. Like definitely seek it out again. I want this movie on 4K. It's turning 20 next year, so hopefully Happy Hand Jobs editions are coming.
It'll probably just be a regular hand job edition.
That's fine. That's fine.
It Disney?
No, it's Warner
WB.
Brothers.
Oh,
Warner Brothers.
okay.
Yeah.
Warner.
And like Leica. The stop motion company that did like Kobo and
That is Leica.
That's Leica.
That's Leica. Yeah, Leica did it.
Oh,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, Corpse Bride. Seek it out. It's still amazing.
Yeah, it should.
Got me a little bit nostalgic for high school because I remember seeing it at the Cineplex Odeon way back in the day.
Yeah.
And still hits all the feels.
Hell yes.
You said memorabilia.
Memorabilia, yes.
What kind of memorabilia was there? Was it real memorabilia?
No, it was they made it. So like there was like a little like pillow of like the book for the recently deceased.
Okay.
And then there was the Wonka's chocolate thing, and then there's like a little like diorama of like Tim Burton and like certain characters.
Okay.
And there was a replica of the shrimp from Beetlejuice. If you guys remember the dinner scene when they're having cocktails and then it turns into a hand, there was like a picture opportunity where you could put your head in the hand.
That's kind of fun.
That was really fun. And then there was like other things from Beetlejuice, and
So it wasn't like that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory pop-up thing?
no, I don't
Willy
think so.
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Oh God.
This
that
was-
fucking abysmal nightmare.
It was like, I can't remember what the hotel was. It was like the Newtel or something in the distillery district.
Novotel.
Novotel. Yeah. So they hosted it,
Okay.
and it was just like in like the back room of like the bar.
The back room.
The back room.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice boom boom in the back room.
Yeah. But the host, the guy who they got to play Beetlejuice was absolutely amazing. He did a number from the Beetlejuice musical, which was pretty entertaining to watch.
That's cool.
Do you guys want to go see that? I kind of want to see it.
It's coming, right?
It's coming. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd be into
All
it.
We'll talk more
We'll
about
talk. We'll talk offline.
Yeah.
We'll talk offline.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Melissa wants to watch all the Tim Burton movies now, so I'm in I'm in fucking heaven because I love Tim Burton.
Pick and choose some.
No, I'm gonna watch all of them, but
All right.
there's definitely one that needs to be watched immediately because she's never seen Batman '89.
Well, yeah, that's a problem.
That is an issue.
But she's seen Batman Returns.
Well,
I can still respect it, but it is a blind spot.
It's you need to correct it, but it's
It
not
is a blind spot.
egregious now.
Yeah.
At least you've seen Returns.
It's a
At least
blind
you've seen
spot.
one of the two of them.
Yeah. It helps that Returns is a Christmas movie, so I could literally just
It's
be like,
always
"Hey,
great
you
for
want to watch?
Christmas.
You want to watch a
It's
Christmas
always
movie?
great
I
for
got a good
Christmas.
Christmas movie for you."
I get it. I get it.
But yeah,
Cool.
I got to see both of those movies in 35 at the Playhouse a few weeks ago.
You
well,
did.
look at you,
They
Mr.
were
Fancy
did.
Pants.
great.
I bet.
And Batman Returns looked like it was brand new.
Chef's
That's
kiss.
awesome.
Chef's kiss.
God, I love that place. Anyway,
Since we were talking about Beetlejuice, it's not going to be my best, but it's going to be a little antidote. Is that how you say antidote?
Yeah.
So I'm
It is.
gonna take this mic here and I'm gonna strangle you with the cord and then beat you violently with the mic.
I thought you were gonna shove it up his ass so that you can hear what his intestines sound like.
I was actually gonna shove it up his pee hole just in case, just to get a little bit more violent.
That wide, Tony.
Oh, we'll get it that wide.
Gaped.
Yes. Mr. David, thrill me with your anecdote.
So we did a puzzle a few weeks ago, me and Quentin, and it was like a 1980s poster puzzle. It didn't make a lick of sense because some of these posters didn't make sense. It was like Deliverance with 16 candles.
What was there like 5 or 7 John Hughes movies?
Yeah, it was like
one Spielberg.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of John Hughes.
There was Caddyshack though, right?
Caddyshack. It did a Clockwork Like it didn't make much sense.
It was all over the place.
It did not make any sense.
It was nonsense.
Either way, Quentin was creeped out by this guy with green hair. And he's like, who's that? And I was like, well, I can't tell you. He's like, why? I'm like, because if you say his name 3 times, he's going to show up. And he was not happy for a while until he realized that it was just a ruse type thing. And he's like, he's not going to show up. I'm like, well, motherfucker, you keep saying his name. You're going to see.
By the way, you also can't say the title of this movie now because Tony said it twice already. So I just want to let you know.
I think I already did say it.
No, not yet.
I thought I did.
No,
say
he did.
No.
He did. Speaking of.
Oh, yeah. So we're at 3. Well, fuck.
All right.
We're in it now, boys.
We're in it now. Anyways, so we were like on whatever streaming platform and the poster was there. And he's like, oh, can we watch it? And I was like, well, it's a little scary. He's like, I want to watch it. I was like, okay, cool. Sure. We'll watch it for a little bit. And if you're too scared, you let me know. Kind of like Jurassic Park where he tapped out.
Sure.
He got bored after 20 minutes because the titular character doesn't show up until 45 minutes into the movie. And the movie's only like 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
So I had to fast forward to get to him. And he watched the rest of it and he loved it. He loves that scene with the shrimp. So when you were talking about the shrimp scene, I've seen that scene like 4 or 5 times this week because he keeps watching it. Yeah. And what was I going to say? He keeps being confused about Catherine O'Hara because he realized that Catherine O'Hara is also Kevin's mom in Home Alone, and we had just watched Home Alone. He's like, what's Kevin's mom doing here? I was like, well, she's playing a different character. Where's Kevin's? That's not Kevin's dad. I was like, it's because he's a different character.
It's a different movie.
It's a different movie. Oh my God, you know what's going to blow your mind? When you watch Batman, you realize that guy is Batman. Yeah. And because he can read, when the credits come up and it says Alec Baldwin, he's like, Baldwin. I was like, yeah, that guy's a dick. That guy's a dick, but yeah, you're right.
That guy shot a person.
And he turned me down for a selfie, even though I told him it was my name.
That was the bigger slight, sure. Yeah,
that hurts.
It hurts. Yeah. My name's Alec. My name's Dave Baldwin. That's nice.
Piece
Fuck
of shit.
you then.
You may have been the 78th Baldwin that's come up to him and said that.
Probably.
You needed Billy Baldwin. That's the only.
I don't want a picture with Billy Baldwin.
I would love to get a picture with Billy Baldwin.
Okay, so Tony's in.
No, wait, no, that's the wrong Baldwin.
Oh my God.
I'm good with Steven. I think he'd be a blast.
I want Stephen Baldwin holding my usual suspects.
Like Stephen Baldwin would be fun. We don't need pictures with Billy Baldwin, okay?
All right. Look, I was going down the low-hanging fruits.
I got confused for a second. Anyways, to wrap up this anecdote, and I'm just going to, you know what, because I've been going on for so long, I'm just going to count it as my best because I've watched it a few times this week. And I watched it recently before I watched the sequel, and we didn't get to talk about it because it was right before TIFF.
Yeah.
Quentin's favorite line in the whole movie is, I don't know if you guys remember this or not. They go into the model. Yeah. And talk to him the first time. Yeah. And then they come out. Yeah. And he starts he starts yelling at them and being upset at them. Yeah. And he kicks over a tree. Yeah. And he says something, and he says, nice fucking model. And then grabs his balls. Yeah. He's like, oh, good. And Quentin loves that. He loves it. Of course he does. He's like, why does he keep saying nice fucking model? I was like, stop saying it. Why do you keep saying it? Stop saying it. Oh my God. He's just like, but how did he kick the tree over? So I was like, because it's a model. It's not that good. He's like, yeah, you keep saying nice fucking model. I'm like, he's like, can I say it? I was like, no, stop saying it.
Oh my God.
Stop saying it.
Quentin's my hero.
He's
awesome. My hero.
He's always been my hero, but he's more my hero now.
Well, yeah, if you guys haven't seen that movie in a while, you should, because it's fucking wild.
Fair enough.
It is wild.
Fair enough.
And it's just strange.
Yeah.
And the stop motion and the makeup and fucking Michael Keaton being off the fucking
cranked up.
Cranked the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's straight fire.
Yeah. It's gold.
Straight fire.
Sure.
And of course, all the Harry Belafonte.
Well, always.
Obviously. Mr. James.
For my best, I'm going to go with...
Not Beetlejuice.
No. The Descent.
Ooh, spooky.
Spooky. I'd never seen it before.
Really?
Nope, never. So it was a new one for me, but it came up on when I was putting my list together, it came up a lot of times on a few different sort of other lists I was reading to try to put together my 31 for October, which, by the way, I'm not going to hit 31, but
story of my life.
I'm enjoying my time anyway with it. So
story of my life.
Watch The Descent. And for a movie from 2005, man, fuck, that holds up. It's pretty damn good. I was impressed. You never know, because in 2005, I was trying to think of other horror movies that were around that time. I mean, I think we were deep in the Saws by that point.
We were at Saw 2.
Yeah, we were at Saw. So a sequel to Saw had come out. I think
Hostel.
of other. Yeah.
Amityville Horror remake.
Yeah. There was remakes.
House of
There
Wax.
there was we were heading into Jump Scare City as well. In terms of just that became the trope that everyone was kind of hooked onto, was just doing jump scare things.
Hide and seek.
Sure.
Saw it theatrically.
Good for you. Did you see The Descent theatrically?
No, because it didn't come out here.
Oh, that's interesting.
I watched it a couple of years later.
Anyway, I thought it was a really cool premise. Maybe a little bit too much convoluted backstory to get there, but
it's the one where they're in the cave, right?
Yes,
it does for spelunking what Jaws did for beaches.
It does, but I don't think that spelunking needed that help. I mean, tight, small crevices that you can get stuck in.
It's pretty creepy already.
It's there, yeah. It's fine. I already had a pretty healthy fear of caves going into The Descent, and I came out with about the same healthy fear of caves. But yeah, man, that movie starts getting more and more fucked up, and for a good chunk of it, for a decent runtime, it is literally just about how fucked up caving is, and how shit can go very, very wrong very quickly, and getting stuck in a shaft or trying to crawl over a large crevasse. And just not dying while you're still trying to find your way out of this cave system that you're lost in.
I'm getting a little just.
So it's really effective in that way, and then you get to sort of what else is in the cave, so they ratchet up the tension one more time, and then it just fucking takes the fuck off, and it is giddy the fuck up. It is violent. It is bloody as all hell. It is it's a trip. And then a full fake out ending, unexpected. Did not remember that.
Okay, so you watched the international version then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because do you know they changed it for Americans?
No. What was it supposed to be?
Spoiler alert for anybody.
Spoiler,
who haven't
This
seen
movie's from 2005.
It's your fault at this point.
You just said it.
Yeah.
That it was a fake out.
Fake out ending. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it ends.
Oh, at the fake. So they don't continue.
They don't
after.
continue.
Oh,
so that lasts 2 minutes.
They leave you
where
on
it
the
gets
high note,
where it gets even worse and even creepier.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
That was what they did for the US.
Interesting.
They literally the rest of the movie is
happy ending.
The rest of the movie is exactly the same except for that last 2 minutes. That's what I was going to ask you if you saw which version you saw.
I saw the international version then, which I fucking loved it. I was I honestly was oh, okay, so that's how, because it really does play out that way, and you're wow, it's they're going with the happy ending. That's cool. And then it cut back, and I was wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, not so happy.
That's ballsy, but good for them. That was anyway, it was bleak and enjoyable overall. Loved it.
Nice.
Just a damn shame Neil Marshall just doesn't make them that anymore.
No, unfortunately not. That probably was a one and done, but that's okay.
Well, he had Dog Soldiers before that, and I think he did Doomsday after that, which is not horrible.
Yeah,
Doomsday is fucked. I love Doomsday.
His newer stuff is not so good.
Yeah. Doomsday's like B movie trash.
Sure.
The action's fucking top notch though.
Fair.
I'm pretty sure he did Hellboy, didn't he?
He did the new newest Hellboy. There's another Hellboy that just came out on VOD.
Oh there's
Not that.
other Hellboy.
The David Harbour Hellboy.
The David Harbour one. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did that one. Yeah, his top ones are that the Descent, Hellboy, Dog Soldiers,
Doomsday,
Tales of Halloween is in there.
Yeah, his newer stuff is not very good.
Yeah.
His newer stuff is not very good. Funny story about Hellboy. I interviewed David Harbour I helped interview David Harbour and Mila Jovovich at the Toronto premiere. And they literally had just released the Rotten Tomatoes score, maybe a minute or two before they came up to us. So you could see like they were definitely he was I think she was still in high spirits, but he was not.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. That sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's a fun story though.
Yeah. But anyway, The Descent. That was my best.
Should watch that again.
You should. And if anyone hasn't seen it, although I kind of gave away a little bit of the endings, but I didn't really say what happens. Just know, there's a fake out ending. But anyway, it's worth it. If you haven't seen it.
It's nearly 20 years old. You're fine.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to.
You can. Yeah, I didn't want to expand on it more. I just wanted to say that there was So, all good. Tony.
So for my meh, going back to the oldies.
Sure.
And I am going to go with Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Dream Child.
5.
All
right.
The fuck?
Right?
That's a meh?
That's a meh.
Are you kidding me?
That got out of worst?
And
that should be sub worst.
When you see my worst, you'll understand.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
saying
how deep does the basement go today?
So Nightmare on Elm Street. I have a soft spot for this franchise only because Freddy Krueger is Freddy Krueger. No matter which one it is, Freddy Krueger is always what's his fucking name? Robert Englund. Say that again.
Robert Englund?
Yeah. He is literally 150% all the fucking time, just giving it his all, and he's absolutely wonderful. The story around it, though, obviously little left to be desired. This one's about him haunting the unborn child of somebody, that's incredible. That's pretty fucked up, right?
Yeah. Is this the one where they make it clear that his mom got raped by 1,000 people in a mental institution? Or something?
His mom got left behind in a mental institution, and she got brutally raped.
Yeah, so he's
that's
his
something.
father. He doesn't know who his father is.
Exactly.
But it's one of these mental patients.
Yeah. And there's this baby that keeps running around that's half demented, half Freddy Krueger basically, and it's just running. It's like a demon child that's running around.
Fun.
It's really fucking weird.
Man,
I'm not gonna lie.
This series really takes a weird ass turn.
Honestly, if you look at the sequels as they go through the years, they're just all over the fucking map.
Yeah.
Some of the deaths in this one aren't as memorable. I hold the third one on the pedestal. I know a lot of people
holds the third one on the pedestal
because all I remember is in the mental institution, and he's literally pulling the veins out of the guy, and it's fucking doing the pup. Hands down, one of the best kills for sure.
Welcome to primetime, bitch.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, this one absolutely, it's meh because it's fucking weird. And it just it hit you right at the start. You're in for a fucking time, but as it goes deeper and deeper and deeper in, and you go deeper and deeper into the dreams, it just gets more and more fucking messed up. Melissa was beside herself because she's like, "What the fuck am I watching?" She hates Nightmare on Elm Street because she hates the idea of Freddy Krueger
in the dreams. Yeah,
the dreams is that she thinks that Freddy Krueger's a bitch, but he's obviously not a bitch. Right?
Scary Terry, bitch.
Scary Terry. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's about it. It's a weird one for sure. Not the best of the franchise, but definitely a weird one. So if you're into the weird shit, if you're into outside of the box, just want a shot.
I mean, I like to color outside the lines.
You like to cut? I love coloring outside the lines.
It's weirder than the super gay second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like the second one that much.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's super gay.
Yeah.
It's very LGBTQ positive.
There's a lot of undertones.
Sure.
I think the one kid is basically getting framed.
Uh-huh.
because everybody who keeps turning up dead
Right.
is basically somebody who crossed this guy. So they think he's doing it.
Right.
But it's very queer coded.
Oh.
And it didn't help that the lead character, the actual guy, was in the closet at the time. So it kind of there's a whole documentary
on it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but there's a lot of super gay things that happen.
That's interesting.
Seeing it in the 2020s, because like I can't remember if it was 2022 or 2021 when I saw it, but when I saw it, seeing it in a new light, this light, it's like there's a lot.
Like it's like really on the surface now, like reflexively.
It's like beating you over the fucking head with it. It's like
isn't there a death scene where somebody gets like towel whipped to death in a shower?
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
There's a shot. Yeah.
Jesus.
Now that you bring it up, I remember it instantly.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very polar opposite of the first one.
Right?
It's just the third one goes back and like back to basics and makes it more makes it funnier.
Sure.
But yeah, the second one it's weird. Yeah, that's why when he keeps harping on weird, I'm like the second one weird.
And it was funny about the fifth one because I didn't know this because they take it. It's a direct sequel to the fourth one. Like it picks up right after the fourth one. So there was certain things that were going on. Melissa was asking me about it, and I was just like, wait, I don't fucking know, because there's the whole like telekinesis thing where like there's a telekinesis subplot in the fourth one and it's like passed on to somebody, and then she starts doing it in the fifth one, and Mel's like
the shinning.
Pretty much. She she can put herself into the dream world kind of thing. And there's like there's a death scene where the guy's a comic. He's a comic book writer and he writes his own comics and stuff. And he gets put into the comic basically. And it's like that fucking 80s video.
Take on me.
Take on me.
Yeah. It's like it gets like that. And it's funny also because like he creates a character and then he's in the dream world and he becomes the character and he tries to defeat Freddy as this superhero that he's created.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. Telekinesis was hot around then because Friday the 13th Part 7 is also about telekinesis. It's Jason versus Carrie.
Telekinesis so hot right now.
Telekinesis. Because I think those two came out around the same time.
That makes sense. Yeah. So if you watch the fifth one, you might want to give yourself a refresher, watch the fourth one, watch them together.
Fair.
Because you'll be a little lost.
The fourth one also connects directly to the third one.
Yeah.
So just watch them all.
Just
go through them. Watch the weird second one.
And the third one is connected to the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Dave.
So I don't know if this is a controversial but it's more of just like the kind of movie that I respect.
Sure.
I just don't like it.
Okay.
So you admire it more.
I admire it more than I like it.
Okay.
But since Tony's going back to the classics, I might as well go back to this movie that's 50 years old.
50.
And is Tobe Hooper's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Kill yourself.
Kill yourself. Just run into traffic.
So I hated this movie the first time I saw it. Hated it.
Yeah.
Fucking hated it.
Yeah.
So I watched it again because I got the Second Sight 4K last year, which was like one of the best 4K releases of last year.
So he hated a movie and then bought the 4K.
It is one of the goats of horror.
That was more of why I wanted to get
That's why I told him kill yourself because
I'm trying to get every time we talk about what Dave buys, I try to get a little bit deeper into his psyche as to what his metrics are for what constitutes purchase versus not purchase.
It was supposed to be the best. It ended up being the best 4K of the year.
Yeah.
And plus, it was a classic.
Oh yeah,
and
I get it now. I'm seeing it.
That was the reason I bought it.
Anyway. Carrying
all of that to say, so it's been remastered and stuff, but it's still watching it in 4K is still very grimy, and I love the grimy look, like the disgusting look.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. Dirty.
Yeah,
like this. Yeah. You're watching this movie, and it's basically watching a snuff film. Yeah. Like it's fucking
like
gross.
They rubbed kitty litter into the film print too. Like it's gross all the way through.
Fucking gross
for sure.
And it's just the atmosphere is like I love talking about like dread, like atmospheres full of dread.
Sure.
Like this is like above dread.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just like you're just like something awful is literally going to happen.
Yeah.
And why are we still waiting for something awful to happen? It still hasn't. Oh, it's happening.
Oh, fuck.
And it's just, and because it's so low budget, it's just, it makes it look creepier.
Yeah. Yeah, because it makes it feel more real in a way, because it feels more amateurish to an extent.
No, it is very amateurish.
Yeah,
it felt like a documentary.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like verite.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
style.
It's
and
really
it's just,
effective in that way.
It's so effective. And like, I can't imagine seeing this movie like when it first came out, because I know it would have fucking just like, I would have been fucking terrified of it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so gross and unsettling. And it's also one of those movies that's so beautiful in the fact that they don't tell you what the fuck is happening.
No.
You don't know who these guys are,
Nope.
why they're doing it.
None of it matters.
None of it matters. Literally none of it matters. Yeah. And I know that they've tried to turn it, like every fucking movie, they're trying to give like a backstory for people. Yeah. And it's just like, you know what? It's effective without it.
Yep.
And he's just fucking Gunnar Hansen as fucking Leatherface. Just... He's terrifying. He's so fucking scary.
Yeah.
And it's literally, it's only like an 85 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's short. Exhausting.
Yeah.
Like I had to watch it in 2 sittings because I was so emotionally exhausted watching this movie. Yeah. This is draining.
Yeah.
But I admire it. And the 4K that Second Sight did looks magnificent.
Yeah.
Because they adhered to the grimy look and the red tinge and just like the 16 millimeter feel of this movie.
Yeah.
And I think they really capture what it probably still looked like back then.
Fair.
Yeah. So if you don't have that 4K, you should definitely import it. But all of this to say, I don't like this movie at all.
Yeah.
But I admire the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I'll probably watch it again. But you can see why it's so influential.
Yeah, absolutely. And like its influence is everywhere in any type of media form too. Like it's crazy. The small little grindhouse almost kind of thing made it.
No, it's a full blown grindhouse.
Yeah, and it made such a lasting impact.
It's so hilarious too, right? Because nothing in that franchise has been able to compare to the original.
Yeah.
Like that original, that is on the pedestal. Like that is on the goats of horror for sure. Yeah. I would say like maybe like the Michael Bay remake of the original came a little bit close.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
But
the look maybe, but the movie itself sucked.
When I say came close to emulating what the original was. Obviously, it's the feel of the vibes, right? That sense of dread.
Yeah.
It's dark as shit, though. Yeah. But yeah, that movie, I love the first one for sure. So when you say that you absolutely hate it, like,
I admire the hell out of it. I think it's a work of art, and I admire the hell out of it.
I don't think it's ever exhausted me as much as it exhausts you.
I like it. Not for me.
I'm all in. I'm fucking every time I watch it, all in. Right, what you know that everything's like happy-go-lucky, and then that hitchhiker comes, and then you know something's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah,
and it does, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's so good.
Yeah, not for me, dog.
That's all right. That's all right. But everything's for everybody.
I admire it, and the 4K has, I think, 4 or 5 commentaries and like multiple hour-long documentaries on it.
Wow.
So
I mean, it's only 88 minutes. They got a lot of disc left.
They got a lot of disc
left. Speaking of, and I feel like we're kind of all on the same train on this which I like. I've been trying to watch things, and when I was putting together my horror list, there was one thing that Dave and super friend of the podcast Matt Layden made me put on this list, as I needed to see it. It wasn't an if, it had to be a when, and that movie is Society. And
I have a shit-eating grin on my face right now.
I went in blind. I knew nothing about it other than very brief thing. You've never even said anything about it to me. I think you were very much like, just society. Like,
yeah, that sounds right.
Like, and I was right. Like, all right, like, fuck, like, giddy up, let's go. So like I put it on and I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And honestly, I was very kind of surprised by it in a lot of different ways. One, in the feel of it, because like it feels like a soap opera for most of it. It also gave me
until it doesn't.
But for the most part, like, it gave me like the way that it was shot, the way that it was sort of framed, the score that was happening behind it felt very. My only frame of comparison was to The Room, because it had this same kind of like Vaseline covered lens film like feel to it. Like, it was very like everything had a sheen to it.
That's all fair.
And you know, the score was just kind of always there, but it never really. It was like, what the fuck is it doing? We're not sure. But then plot wise, I was like, wow, this is actually a really cool, like almost like Twilight Zone kind of vibe to it, where like there's an entire conspiracy going on, but only one person sees that there's a conspiracy. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is kind of cool. Like, I wonder how deep the rabbit hole goes into this, like how far down we're going. And then you get to where the shoe drops.
I love that, where you're just like, and then
yeah. There's a point where the shoe finally drops, and because at that point, like you've been, you know, spun up in the web as well, and you're like, okay, someone's just got to fucking tell me what's going on now, because like I don't know what the fuck to believe anymore. Like, can someone just explain what the fuck's going on? And then they do, and when they do, you're like, oh, I was not prepared.
See,
nothing can prepare you for that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The whole movie, I was like, when's it gonna happen? Like, there's something gonna happen.
You know something has to happen.
You know something has to happen, and it's building and building and building. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm getting fucking bored. Like, let's fucking go. And then it happens, and you're like, no, I want to go back.
No. Wait a minute.
This is not what I signed up for.
Yeah,
this is not where I parked my car.
Yeah,
I am getting the fuck out.
That is, first of all, some incredible effects work. Like, that makeup and effects work is like
next level.
Fucking
next level.
Next level shit.
Practicals.
Also hilarious at times, even when you're in the thick of it. It's fucking hilarious. And
that guy being an ass. Choice.
Yeah.
That guy being an asshole. Yeah.
Great. So great. But like all of it is just happening. You're just like, what in the hell is going on? And then it just kind of ends.
Yeah.
And you're just like, huh. Okay.
My jaw was just, during the credits, my jaw was just like on the floor. And I'm like, what?
Because it just ends. You're like, okay.
I wasn't kidding when I told you there is before society and after society. And you are not the same person after you see it. And I love that we're beating around what this movie's actually about, because it's,
You can't.
You can't unsee it, and you can't unsee it for one thing, and for another thing, you gotta see it to fucking believe it.
Even if I said it out loud right now, no one listening that hasn't seen it would just be like, oh, "Come on!" Like, no. I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I want to say, if you're into. First of all, the one thing it did scratch an itch for, and it's why it ended up being a meh, and kind of sitting in the middle, is it is certifiably wet.
I was going to ask you, is it wet?
Oh, it's wet.
Is it goopy?
Yeah. Yeah, she goopy and wet.
There's a lot of goop.
She goopy and wet.
The guy who directed it's a fucking madman. Yeah. Brian Yuzna, like, he's a fucking madman.
Yeah, it takes one to pull this thing together.
Makes sense. Makes so much sense.
Right?
Yeah, so it's it is certifiably goopy and wet, and if you're into sort of let's say pushing the envelope a little bit as to what things can be, I'd say go for it. I mean, it's an experience, but as Dave said, be prepared, because there is a before society and after society. But I'm never going to spoil it for you, but it is a journey.
Grab your friends. Watch
It
it
is,
watch it in a crew.
I watched it alone in my basement.
Buddy, I watched it alone in my basement too. But I'm telling you guys. I'm telling our listeners.
Even Mouse checked out. She was looking at it. She's like, nah,
nope,
I'm good.
Like you need to be held for part of it.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So when Arrow drops the 4K, you're in?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
There's no question.
All right.
This metric makes sense because that movie needs to be on a shelf. I don't hold it on the I don't love it as much as I love House, but I like Society a lot.
What about Sallow?
I think I'm good. Probably never seeing Sallow again. I could watch Society again. I don't know that I ever want to watch Sallow.
I want to watch it with Tony.
I would like to watch it with Tony. I will watch Sallow only one more time in my life, and it will be with Tony. I will watch.
No desire to see this.
I will watch Antichrist 78 more times with you. If you watch Sallow once with us.
See, I want to watch Antichrist again,
but you don't want to watch Sallow.
I do not want to touch that movie with a 10-foot pole.
I'm so proud of that being in my collection.
I can't.
It's a journey. Tony.
Do it.
That's another movie where there's before Sallow and then there's after Sallow, and you're just kind of never going to be the same.
Like 10 years before you guys.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. I'm starting to actually be genuinely afraid of when Quentin starts like
diving down the hole.
Learning about all these movies and all this sick shit type thing, and hearing about all these things on the internet or wherever he gets it like beamed into his brain at that point. Who knows what the fuck? And he's gonna go downstairs and look at the shelves and be like, why do you have all of this? Yeah. Dad, what the fuck?
Thank God you don't have like Cannibal Holocaust down there.
Never. But that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Sallow we'll accept Sallow. We'll accept Society. We draw the line at Cannibal Holocaust. But I can't imagine the day where he comes in and he's like, Dad, why do you own Sallow?
Yeah. It's a
perfect
treat.
First date movie, Quinny.
Absolutely. Follow a second date with Houseu, third date Society. It's great. If they're not marrying you, then I don't know what you're doing. This is not for you.
It's true.
Jesus.
If you can't love me, at my Sallow, you can't love me at my Society. Tony.
So, for my worst, piggybacking off Dave's Meh, only because this is a direct sequel to Dave's Meh.
Sure.
For my worst, I'm talking about Texas Chainsaw 3D.
3D.
So,
and it's like Texas Chainsaw like 17, isn't it?
I think it's like 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah, it's like down the line.
So, big criticism of this movie.
Wait, did you watch it in 3D?
I did not. Pretty weak.
You didn't get the red and blue tinted glass. I don't know what it was.
No, but you still saw when they fucking throw the chainsaw and
sure.
it like
Yeah.
I'm watching it with Melissa. She was like, "Was this movie in 3D?" I was like, "Yes."
Yes, it was.
So quick overview of Texas 3D. If you didn't know, it's a direct sequel to the first one, and I mean they play like the hits from the first one in the opening credits.
Sure.
It is about a girl who is the last surviving member of the Sawyer family.
Sure.
She inherits the house, and she doesn't really know where she comes from because she's adopted. Doesn't know much about her past. So she gets a call saying that her grandma died and that she left the estate to her. And so she and her friends go to the Sawyer estate.
Sure.
And you can pretty much figure out what happens after that.
Okay.
And it's Alexandra Daddario, right?
Alexandra Daddario.
Oh, okay.
And quick spoiler alert: she is basically the grandchild. She was stolen because like basically so it takes place after the first one. So picture Leatherface doing his like fucking happy dance or his like whatever his fucking dance is. Let's get away. The town hears that this girl like escaped the Sawyer house, and now it was all it was like an open secret that the Sawyers were cannibals. So this like redneck is just like, I've had enough of this shit. We're gonna fucking go after them.
Right.
And there's a shootout. They burn the house down. And they find one of the people in the gang find the baby, and then they take the baby and raise it to its own.
Right.
And then cue it up. And Alexandra Daddario's in it. Trey Songz is in it too for some godly
Trey
reasons. It's just bad. It's really bad. The timeline doesn't make any fucking sense because it says it's in the 70s and then it's in present day 2013. And if you do the math from 1974 to 2013, that baby is not 25.
Yeah. Yeah. It's around about 40.
Yeah. So there's that. And then I'll never forget this. There's a scene where she gets kidnapped by the locals, and then Leatherface comes in and they're beating the shit out of Leatherface, and then all of a sudden she gets free. And then by that time she's put together that Leatherface is actually her cousin. So the titular chainsaw is on the ground, and she proceeds to kick the chainsaw over to Leatherface, and she looks him dead in the eyes and she says, "Do your thing, cuz."
Great. Cinema.
Cut, print, cinema.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to put a guy into a meat grinder.
Well, of course, as you do.
And you see that guy get grinded in 3D.
Yeah. Well, you must.
As you do.
One must.
As you do.
This movie sucks.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that this was a side segment of Tony remembers when things were good.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember it being good. I just remember liking the fact that it's like, oh, she's like, part of the family, and he's like,
sure.
She's like, you really
an interesting kind of idea.
An interesting idea, a little fresh take, and you really see that Leatherface, maybe he's misunderstood. Maybe he just was abused by his
cousin.
He's just a cousin. He was abused by their family. He just didn't know how to express his feelings.
Yeah. So he just carved up people and ate them.
Yeah. And maybe he was very insecure with his face, so he wanted to wear other people's faces.
I get it.
Like,
body dysmorphia is a thing. It's a real problem.
Yeah, it's a real problem. I feel like if there was just like, if there was more money in to support mental illness.
Yeah,
maybe,
in the 70s, of course.
In the 70s, of course. Maybe, we could have saved Leatherface.
Yeah. I'm just picturing Leatherface laying down on like a therapist couch wearing other people's faces.
Another person's face. Yeah. His chainsaw, he's like, "Mr. Leatherface, can you put your chainsaw over there, please?"
Sometimes I don't feel like I can look at myself in the mirror.
I just want my family to like me for who I am.
All I do is continually carve up people and serve them dinner. They no respect. No
one says thank you to me. Yeah. I'm out there like capturing everybody.
They haven't remembered my birthday in 28 years.
Yeah. They remember so-and-so's birthday, but not mine.
Yeah. I made a human flesh cake the other day.
Why is this bit still going? I love it. How is this bit still going?
James, I love you, buddy. I love that you just been fed off me.
I got you.
But yeah, that's Texas Chainsaw 3D. Don't fucking see it. I saw it, so you didn't.
Thanks, Tony. I'll never watch it.
No, don't do it.
How many of these sequels just are sequels to the first one? I feel like
they just keep going back. Well, they did the prequel the one time that's just called Leatherface.
Yeah, I just feel like so many, like almost every single one of them is just a sequel to the first one. Like the first one just
they've been trying to create an actual sequel for 40 years.
Legit.
50 years. They haven't been able to do it. They haven't been able to do it.
No. There's the one with McConaughey. That one's fucking weird.
The Next Generation.
Yeah. Good for him.
And there's another one with Viggo Mortensen too. The third one.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It's
all over the map.
It's a very fucked up franchise. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't even know that it's a franchise. It just seems like one movie and a bunch of loose spin-offs.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty close.
Because they go like full blown horror for the first one, and then they turn it into a comedy for the second one.
Yeah.
With Dennis Hopper.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Dave also has that on 4K.
Of course he does.
But yeah.
Do you admire that one?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
It's fucking weird. I also have it on 4K. It's weird. I like it.
All right.
First two. I'll give Texas Chainsaw the first two. Everything else, no es bueno.
In the bin.
Maybe the original. Take the original or the remake of the original with Jessica Biel. That one is like a guilty pleasure.
What about the prequel to the remake?
No, fuck that movie.
No. Dave.
Well, since we're talking about throwing movies in the bin. And we're talking about we can talk about scraping the bottom of the bin.
Oh dear.
And then we could talk about scraping under the scrape that you already did.
Oh God.
Still won't come close to the movie that he's about to say.
It's still not close.
So this is like, I'm imagining the bin at Walmart, and you got like the barrel of fucking Blu-rays you're sorting through. And then, there's always like when they, and like May, they do like store cleaning and they move all the shelves around, and you find one Blu-ray that would just kind of fell underneath the bike aisle, and it's been tucked underneath and collecting
and
dust.
The plastic has already been ripped
it's been
off.
torn. The disc is kind of scratched to shit.
Yeah.
Dave would be upset and complain to someone if he ever bought it.
I don't like scratch discs. What do you want from me? I'm paying fucking $50 a disc. I don't want it to be scratched.
For this one, you can have it for free.
I wouldn't want it.
And what is it?
You know what, James? The way you described it, it's still worse than that.
Oh God!
It's a little film called The Mousetrap.
Oh yes.
Oh no!
Which is one of those horror movies that they made to capitalize on the fact that Steamboat Willie is now in public domain.
Yeah, this follows the Blood and Honey Winnie the Pooh shit.
That movie is Citizen Kane compared to this.
Oh no!
It is.
Oh no!
Oh bad! Oh, this movie is bad.
I'd rather watch Blood and Honey on repeat for a day and get kicked in the nuts repeatedly while I watch it than ever subject myself to this movie.
It's that bad.
It is
horrendous.
Is it unwatchable?
It is unwatchable.
Wow.
It is so fucking bad.
Wow.
James.
There is nothing redeeming about this movie.
Wow.
You know what's redeeming about it, Tony? That it ends.
Yeah.
So the short synopsis is that these two cops are interrogating the witness and trying to figure out how this massacre happened at, I guess, like a Palladium. That's what it kind of looks like.
Like an arcade.
It's an arcade Palladium type thing.
Like a Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Sure.
Like think like Five Nights at Freddy's and
that's what I was getting vibes of.
What was the Nick Cage one? Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah.
Worse than both. Substantially worse than both of those movies.
Oh no, not
and neither of those movies are good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And the owner, you find out that the owner is I guess he's a big Steamboat Willie head because he has an ornate Steamboat Willie mask in a glass case and like an original film reel of Steamboat Willie.
Oh God.
That he watches on repeat.
That he watches in his like theater room in the back of the arcade. And I guess for one reason or another, Steamboat Willie like possesses him.
Sure.
And then he puts on the mask.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to kill a group of teenagers or hunt down a bunch of teenagers that are in the arcade.
So look at me. I'm the Steamboat Willie now.
That's basically it.
Oh God.
Sorry. There is one redeeming thing about this because I gave it half a star and I only gave it half a star for one moment.
Yeah.
There is a moment in the movie where the guy has the mask on, he's doing whatever and his back is turned, and the girl or the guy or whatever peeks around the corner and sees him at the table doing whatever, and he's whistling the Steamboat Willie.
Oh
yeah, that's a recurring motif.
That's a current motif throughout the movie, but he's whistling it.
Sure.
And me and Dave both looked at each other like, I see what you did there.
Oh,
that's
wow.
kind of clever. Yeah,
And no,
half star.
It's not.
It's not clever.
It's not clever.
But
He
that's the only moment.
He also laughs like Mickey Mouse, like kind of like that. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Kind of like that.
Great. Cool.
But a little more pixelated than that.
Yeah. Because
Anyways, so the script tries to be fourth wall breaking.
Oh, weird.
And
What a choice.
Points things out, which, what a choice.
Yeah.
None of it's good.
Oh.
And you barely see any of the kills.
Oh.
The movie's so fucking dark.
And it's basically shot in the dark.
Lord.
And it's like there's so much red in it, like an obscene amount of red.
Weird.
It's just all of the thing, like you can forgive a slasher movie if it has cool kills.
Yeah.
This does not.
So what's the point of this movie existing?
It has one literal fun kill at the very end of the movie, like literally just before the credits hit. That's fun.
Yeah.
And it leads to nothing.
Yeah. Wow.
And you're just like, I'm like, this movie is 80 minutes long and not even 80 minutes long. And it's painful.
Jesus.
Painful to watch. And it's Canadian. Painful.
Worse.
And there's a sequel coming.
Why?
I don't know. But it's like,
who's financing this shit?
It's one of those things where you're like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And if you are going to make this movie, why don't you make it for a reason?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me an actual reason to watch this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it is unwatchable.
Wow. What a piece of shit.
I might actually enjoy pouring bleach in my eyes before watching this again.
Fuck. All right.
It's real bad. And there's another one coming that's on like a boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
See that one. That one I'm like,
he's like picking people off on the boat.
Interesting.
Because I saw a trailer for it before Terrifier. But it looks slightly more interesting than this was.
Yeah.
Like at least with Winnie the Pooh, they tried to do something.
They tried to make a story.
They tried like not even make a story. They tried to do something.
Yeah.
And this doesn't try to do anything.
Yeah. So it's
a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's a waste of everyone's time.
Ridiculous.
It looks cheap. It feels cheap. It sounds cheap.
End of list.
Not worth anyone's time.
Garbage.
It's worse than what you described of that.
Yeah. The forgotten Blu-ray.
Yeah. Like maybe like it got dipped in like the toilet.
Sure.
Or someone threw up and they had to like mop it up, and then it ended up like in the corner with all the other garbage,
vomit. Yeah, got it.
Like maybe still worse than that.
Yeah.
It's like one of the worst. No hyperbole. It is one of the worst things I have ever seen in my entire life.
That's insane.
Like I know
you've seen a lot.
That's like a hyperbolic thing that people say like, "Oh, this is the worst movie of all time." Like. You know what? It might not be the worst movie of all time, but it is one of the worst things I have ever put myself through.
Wow.
And I've watched Sallow.
Yes, you sure have. You've also watched Cannibal Holocaust.
I've also watched Cannibal Holocaust. Yeah. Never again. Yeah. You know what? That's one I won't watch with you guys again.
No.
You want to do it?
No, I don't.
It's all you. It's all you guys. I can't watch that movie ever again.
My Letterboxd review of this movie was something along the lines of this is proof of when you fuck around, you find out. Because we fucked around by watching it, and we sure as shit found out what
shouldn't have done it.
You know what? It should have.
It's a giant turd.
Yeah. You know what? You should have just said it's proof that God doesn't exist. Why would he allow someone? Sorry, why would she allow someone to make this movie?
Fair.
Oh, God. I was hoping you'd bring that movie up.
I'm glad you did, because now I'll never watch it.
Never.
Thanks for torturing yourself on my behalf.
Don't do it.
Fucking do it.
So my worst is going to tie into our next segment. So is it time for screener time?
It's screener time. It's screener time.
Oh, Dave, that's a good jingle, buddy.
I try. I can't. I kind of aped it off of, or homaged it off of Video Game and Arcade Top 10, which is a deep cut for like.
No, it's very good.
Like millennial Canadians.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's good. It's good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Somebody I was wearing my Beetlejuice cartoon shirt at the Tim Burton
Stop fucking saying his name.
I know. And the guy the host looked at me. He's like, "That's a deep cut." I was like, "Yeah, it is."
Hell yeah, it is.
It's not even that deep cut. It's a deep cut. It's just not that deep a cut.
In the crowd that I was at with a bunch of fucking Gen Z.
Yeah, okay. So it's a deep cut there.
You knew your audience.
I knew my audience.
You had to find the real ones with that shirt.
Definitely.
So my worst is a little film that we got a screener of called Levels,
which is in Canadian theaters and American theaters, I believe, this Friday.
Correct.
Or today.
Now.
It's in theaters now.
This. Thrill me, James, because I didn't watch this one.
Sure. So a guy and a girl together, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing. And they're out for a coffee date. And she's got something to tell him. But before she's able to, a guy walks up and shoots her in the head.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you spend the rest of the time finding out why
he's distraught.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's done so.
Well, of course, his girlfriend just got shot in the
in
head
front of him.
His girlfriend of all of 2 months. He's distraught.
It's bad.
All right.
He's having a rough day.
He obviously was in love with
He's
this
having
girl.
a rough day. Also, to set the scene, it is a little bit more of a futuristic society. So it's like a well-integrated sort of like AI helper in his house, kind of like a big Siri thing. And everything's kind of a little bit more advanced. He's distraught. He gets to a point so low that he purchases a gun to off himself because he just can't. He's just done. He's depressed, completely gonzo. He loads up that gun, puts it to his head, fires it, doesn't go off. Does it again, doesn't go off. Aims to a couch, does go off. Now you're kind of going like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, the movie then progresses from there as you try to find out more about what is happening to him and what happened to her and who possibly killed her while going through levels.
That kind of seems fun.
Yeah, it's not.
Or does it move at a glacier's pace?
I have some thoughts, but I'll wait for James to go on.
It moves at a pace. I think they tip their hand far too early and then drag that out for far too long. And then do a surprise yada yada ending, which is a problem. So pacing is an issue with this movie in terms of when you're getting stuff, when you're not getting stuff, and what happens in between. And like, there's not enough going on really in the in-between state either. Like the poster is like one shot of this movie. Like it looks like it's supposed to be like an action thriller.
Kind of
ish. Real low budge. Although high budget in some ways, because like the VFX are pretty good.
I think the visual effects are pretty good.
Which
for a Canadian, low budget Canadian picture, like I think the visual effects were very good.
Which makes sense.
Used sparingly.
Yeah.
I think that like clear cell phone thing that like
very cool
turns into an iPad. I think
very
that's
cool.
Fucking cool.
Yeah. He is the director is a VFX guy.
That makes sense.
That's where he came from. Like anything that he did before was mainly VFX work.
That makes perfect sense.
So it makes a lot of sense as to why
all of that checks out.
Yeah. It's all shot in Vancouver as well.
Winnipeg, son.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's Winnipeg. I got my license plates wrong. But there was a very clear shot that it was Winnipeg.
Tony knows exactly why this movie was filmed in Winnipeg.
Yeah. We all
tax
know.
credits.
We all
Adam
know.
Stern is the gentleman's name.
Yes. So, I mean, look, this movie's ambitious in a way, in terms of like what it's trying to approach concept wise. But it's not new.
It feels very reminiscent of Inception and The Matrix.
Very much so.
Those are the ones that I kept kind of picking up on. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
We've been here.
And they kind of like, what are they doing? Be Kind, Rewind, Scrub. What do they call that? Sway.
What are you talking about?
I'll come back to it.
All right.
I'll come back. James, you continue.
Yeah. So it's just, I honestly, I think the pacing really threw me on this one, and it really just kind of ended up being a bit of a letdown. I was kind of looking forward to it. It had pretty good poster art, and like it sounded like a pretty cool concept. It just
looking at the poster, it looked like a fucking hard boiled like action thriller.
Yeah, it's not. So it kind of goes to some of those places, but I think it gets a little bit lost in its own philosophy and psychology, and then honestly it just all kind of ends.
Tried to overcomplicate itself.
Yeah, but it tries to overcomplicate itself literally in the last 4 minutes. And
God.
So the movie proper, in terms of the plot, in terms of who killed his girlfriend, the big bad sort of overcoming the big bad happens, and it cuts to black, and then you have a further 4 minutes to try to wrap everything up and explain what the fuck just happened, because it didn't do a good enough job through its entire runtime of getting there. So you had to have an epilogue, or else none of this would, like, if it ended where it looked like it was supposed to end, it would have been the most unsatisfying thing. But then the epilogue feels really tacked on.
So the word I was looking for was swayed.
Swayed. Okay.
Swayed, like a swayed Inception Matrixy type thing. It has some very cool ideas. The performances are fine. I love Aaron Abrams. So seeing him as the big bad, I love him.
Yeah.
What's he from?
He was in Young People Fucking, which I will always reference. I'll show you a picture of him. You definitely know who this gentleman is.
I love Young People Fucking. That's that's
a big favorite of Tone's.
That's a big favorite. That's a big favorite
of mine. Also, big Canadian. I was in a fucking. Okay, yeah, that guy. I was in a job interview for the Canadian Film Festival, and they asked me what one of my favorite Canadian movies was, and I blanked on the question, but I remembered that Young People Fucking was a Canadian movie, so I said that, and the look on both their faces when I said that, priceless.
It's a deep cut.
It is a deep cut.
It's a deep cut.
I don't think they were ready for that response.
So I think he's great as the big bad.
Yep.
He's a little over the top in some of the parts, but I think he's pretty solid. And I like what the movie's going for. Just to James's point, it's dragged out a bit and it doesn't quite stick the landing on the concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By the end, you're just kind of like, sure.
Yeah. It feels like a cool, oh God, what the hell word am I looking for? I keep blanking on my words. Proof of concept.
Yeah.
Cool proof of concept that could be fine tuned in certain ways so that it feels a little smoother.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you know, like all my comments about whether I liked or didn't like it have all been kind of based on everything else but the acting in this. Like, I think the acting is fine. I think most of the direction is fine as well. Minus the way, it comes down to me to the pacing in the script. It's not good. I think it could have been better written overall and better sort of paced out as well, but it's there.
I knew something was up because this guy owns a bookstore and has a fucking mansion of a penthouse with this fucking snazzy AI thing. Yeah. And I'm just like, there's no way this motherfucker owns a bookstore and is able to afford
this economy.
This economy. Yeah. There's even in the future. You're telling me that
bookkeeps are.
You're telling me that wages have gone up.
Yeah.
You're telling me inflation has helped wages.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tony,
what's the other screener?
What's another screener now that we've talked about Levels, which again comes out today.
So we have another film. This was at the Toronto International Film Festival, and I missed it. So I'm glad that we were able to get a screener of it. It is a documentary called Space Cowboy.
Okay.
And
wow me.
This one is about a famous skydiving cinematographer named Joe Jennings.
Oh, that's neat.
And it's surrounding his next big shoot.
Okay.
And in doing so, while they're showcasing him getting ready for this next big thing that he's doing, they showcase his life and how he came to be. And the movie's fucking incredible.
Oh wow!
Because this guy has done some pretty amazing things.
Neat. And
the things that he was able to capture while skydiving is nothing short of amazing.
Cool.
And then it dives deeper with his fame because he was at the X Games when he filmed the I can't remember who his partner was, but the partner was the guy doing the tricks, and then he went down and he was the one filming the routine and all that stuff.
Cool.
And you see his rise and how he was just like this ordinary guy.
Yeah.
Right. And he just started doing things, and then he got famous really quickly. Yeah. And he couldn't really handle the fame.
Oh, okay.
It gets into his depression a bit, and he was saying how before the jumps, he would be in his bedroom and he would be crawled in a ball, and then we're like, Joe, we're ready for you. Then he literally just shuts it off because he's like, when he's up there, you got to do it. And there's a little bit of tragic backstory too. That Rob Harris is his partner, and gets into the weeds about a little bit of tragedy because he is up there doing dangerous things. So when you're doing dangerous things kind of happen, and he loses friends along the way. And of course, it's a pretty uplifting story. I really enjoyed it.
So it's a documentary.
It's a documentary. Yeah, cool. Yeah. I really liked it.
I like the mix of old and new footage.
Yeah.
And what he's able to capture in the sky it's amazing. It's incredible. Like I don't have
nothing short of amazing.
I don't have words to describe what he's able to capture in the sky and some of his cool ideas for what he's doing now, which is basically fucking around.
Yeah,
sure.
And he's just like, what can I throw out of a plane next? Like,
and just what he's doing. Like, it's amazing what this guy's doing, and the balls on this guy to just he goes down. And then he goes back up.
Yeah.
And then he goes down.
Again
and then he goes back up. I can't imagine skydiving once, let alone going multiple times in a day.
Some of these fucking guys, they're just going to a car and then they just drive the car off the plane.
Yeah.
And they're all free falling,
jump
right?
out of it,
Right. And then there's one scene where they're saying how they have to be careful, right? Because like if they misjudge like the air pattern or anything, they're gonna get like sucked in kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the car was free falling, and the guy misjudged something, and he got smashed with the car fucking smashed him. And then you see him when he comes down, he's fine and everything, but his face is all fucking bloody because a fucking car hit him.
He just got run over by a car
right
in the air.
Fucking 12. What was it? Like 20,000 feet in the air. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
I think it would have been cool to see in like an IMAX screen. I don't know if they showed it in the IMAX or not, but it would have been cool to see some of the stunts
for sure. Yeah.
Like that big, because it looks great. And I think he's a compelling subject. And I love the focus on his depression.
Yeah.
And kind of how it doesn't really get into how he really like got through it.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of yada yada-ing there because that's not the heart of the story. It's just like part of the story.
Yeah.
But I think that was just an interesting element to get into. And it kind of reminded me of that Tony Hawk documentary.
Yeah.
I think it was like Until the Wheels Fall Off or something.
Wheels Fall Off. Yep.
Where there's a whole section of that doc where they're just talking about the abuse that their bodies have taken.
Yeah.
And some of the people they've lost. Yeah. And just like not knowing what the future holds for them because they put themselves through so much.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this is kind of like a continuation of that where he has like horrible depression.
Yeah.
Like he's having the time of his life and he's fucking miserable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it hit home a lot of it. And I think the Rob Harris stuff is great. I think it builds up a bit too much, building into what happens with him.
Yeah.
But I think it's an enjoyable documentary. It doesn't have a release date. I don't know if it even got bought yet. It's been at a couple of US festivals in the last few weeks. Yeah. But it's definitely enjoyable, and I can definitely see myself watching again and recommending it to people because, even just watching it on mute and just watching the footage he's able to capture, stunning.
He throws out a fucking living room set. Like there's like a plank and there's like a TV with a nightstand and they're sitting on a couch and they're just free falling in this living. Yeah, like it's fucking nuts.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
That's amazing though.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself a little bit. I think I should have tried a little bit harder to see it, Tiff, but I'm glad that we had the opportunity to see it. I really enjoyed it.
Cool. We skipped it because we had to record that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the one I gave up.
Sorry, Joe.
Sorry, buddy.
We had to record that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of documentaries that were at TIFF, we also have Dahomey, which I believe is in limited release today as well from Mubi.
Yeah.
Who shout out to Mubi because the substance is kicking ass and taking names.
Absolutely.
So good on you, Mubi. So Dahomey is about some art, 26 pieces of art that were stolen by the French that they're bringing back to Dahomey, right?
Yeah.
And kind of the beginning is very avant-garde because you're watching them pack up the artwork.
Sure.
And by artwork, I mean statues and sculptures and shit.
Yeah.
And kind of like they give a voice to to at least one of the sculptures.
Okay.
So it's literally them just packing it all up,
sure,
shipping it out,
sure,
and then putting it up on display.
Sure.
That's the first half of the movie. The movie's only 68 minutes long.
Wild.
So that's the first half of the movie. And then the second half of the movie is centered mainly around a conversation of like a group discussion of university students.
Sure.
Who are discussing the value of the art and what it means to get it back.
Right.
But also, like, they only gave 26 pieces of it back out of like thousands.
Oh God.
So it's like a pittance.
Yeah.
And this stuff got stolen hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
And the one guy's just like, in 100 years, are we going to get 26 more? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's just, I thought that stuff was very compelling. And I thought that was interesting because you're just getting multiple different people's reactions.
Right.
And like everyone has a different side of it. And you're watching and just seeing how these young people are discussing the art.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely not for everyone. But I thought it was pretty good. What did you think?
I liked the first half only because it's not like your traditional documentary, right? Because like we've come to accustom with documentaries that like, you know, there's a voiceover, there's somebody explaining what's
Talking
going
heads,
on,
yeah,
talking heads,
sure.
that kind of thing. But for the most part, we're just a fly on the wall and we're just watching this unfold in front of us.
Yeah.
Right. And
Pause. So the Kingdom of Dahomey was what it used to be.
Yeah.
When the French took the artwork or took the art, and then what it is now is the present day Republic of Benin. Benin. That's what it is now. So my mistake on that.
no worries.
Just wanted to correct myself on that.
But yeah, it's not your traditional documentary. I kind of like, I was into it and then I was out of it. I was very like, you know, if there are better there's some good moments, there's some not good moments. It, like Dave hit the nail on the head. It's definitely not going to be for everybody. It's a front runner right now for best documentary.
Yeah.
Like I can see
It's a front runner.
It's not.
It's a front runner for a nomination.
For
Sure.
When I say front runner, I say front runner for a nomination because when you're looking at the predictions and everything, this is fucking everywhere for documentary feature, and I can see why, because it's not your traditional documentary.
Sure.
But yeah, it wasn't for me.
No,
I couldn't get behind it.
All right.
It's another one that I admire more than I like.
Right.
Yeah. I like that it's different. I like
being different.
I like it for being different. I like it for being out of the box and not
Sure.
being your traditional documentary.
Sure.
But on a whole, I can't see myself ever watching this again.
Fair.
So I believe the director's name is Matty Diop. I hope I said that right. I'm just going to go with that.
Sure.
He also directed a movie called Atlantics, which I believe is on Netflix that I really want to see.
Oh, okay.
Which is apparently was pretty good and is a movie that was also a TIFF that we didn't watch back in 2019.
Huh.
But yeah, I'm with you on it.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. I admired it, and it's definitely out of the box
Yeah.
and very avant-garde.
Yeah.
And
I really liked the conversations. I thought that was cool. Just him fly on the wall, watching these people, watching these students just discuss.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what the whole crux of the documentary is. It's like very fly in the wall. You're
Right.
just they're not telling you, you're just watching.
Yep.
That kind of thing. I was going to say something else and I completely forgot. I blanked on it. All good.
Okay. Well, last screener I want to discuss really quick is another film that's coming out today. It's called Hit Pig. It's it's animated. Has Jason Sudeikis, Lily Singh, RuPaul,
fun,
and what's his dick from The Office? Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, okay. That's
So
that
it's-
cast.
So it's about a pig, the titular hit pig, who is basically you would think he's a hitman, but he's not. He's a bounty hunter.
Fair.
And he goes to.
This is animated?
It's animated.
Is it family or is it adult?
Family.
Oh, it's a family movie.
It's a family film. And he's kind of tasked with recovering animals that have gone missing or stolen or have been broken free and need to go back.
Oh, okay.
So he's tasked with retrieving an elephant that somebody had broken out of a circus show type thing.
Sure.
And along the way, he gets back to the elephant. He gets the elephant, and he's going to bring her back.
Sure.
But he doesn't tell her that he's the bounty hunter who's been tasked with bringing her back. She thinks he's her buddy, her new friend, who's going to bring her home.
Oh.
So it's kind of about him coming to terms with, maybe his job isn't a good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Him gaslighting an elephant.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. It's not top tier. The animation's fine. It's colorful, and it has a lot of 80s needle drops that I thought were strange. Which I was like, okay, that's a choice for a movie in 2024. But Lily sings great, and so is Jason Sudeikis. Jason Sudeikis gets a couple of funny lines.
Fun.
And I could see it being like a random Saturday afternoon movie that I watch with Quentin on Netflix.
Sure.
Like, it's fine. It's harmless.
Yeah.
It has a nice message to
All
it.
right.
It's a little, it's definitely very strange.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
It's not a movie I would actively recommend for everybody. Just more of like a family, like a throwaway family movie for young kids
Fair enough.
who want this great message.
Sure.
But yeah, it's very independent, and so that one's out today as well.
Cool.
So if you like Jason Sudeikis, give it a shot. It's only like 75 minutes long. Like it's
So
it's really
it's a really Saturday afternoon thing.
it's a breeze. It's a breeze.
Easy.
That's what I like. What it was reminding me of is those random animated non-Disney movies that you would find at like Blockbuster and Jumbo Video in the 90s, and you would just rent them.
Yeah, just because they sounded halfway interesting.
They sounded halfway interesting, and
you plop your kids in front of them.
you would remember them, but when you go back and look at like box office scores or like what other people remember from those times, you're like, nobody remembers these animated movies.
What the fuck
like
you're
I'm thinking
about.
like Cats Don't Dance.
I was gonna say We're Back.
Or We're Back. Like
Sure.
Like these random animated movies that weren't
that
big.
weren't anything.
That weren't anything.
Yeah.
We're Back's dope though.
Yeah, I fucking love We're Back.
I have that on Blu-ray.
Yeah, you just took the only copy that day, you fuck.
Nice.
But yeah, it's fine.
Cool.
It's fine.
So I think we're heading right into our main segment tonight.
Yes, let's
Kinda
go
got
to
a leaner, meaner episode today.
Yeah,
Skipping over Tony's bullshit. I'm kidding, Tony. I love your bullshit.
We all love your bullshit, buddy.
Yeah. We keep cutting Dave's New Blues because clearly no one loves that bullshit.
I guess not.
Yeah,
I love that bullshit.
We love it. We love it here. But let's get into our main segment. We got to talk about Venom.
The
Said 3
Last Dance.
times because it's the third one.
The Last Dance.
Yes, thank you.
We could just cut it right here and just go, right? Like,
Yeah, that's it. And thank you for listening. We leave you with no thoughts.
Didn't your mother teach you that if you have nothing nice to say, you should say nothing at all?
Yeah.
my therapist says the same
Honestly,
thing.
from my entire... it started out with frustration. I had to find a regular screening for this movie. I had to go all the way to fucking Burlington for a regular screening.
Yeah, it seems like the new thing. It wasn't like we've noted this multiple times, but it seems very egregious. Like, especially more egregious.
But like it used to be like, okay, there was like a regular screening at like Ancaster. Ancaster had a regular screening on Monday at 3:50 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Look, who the fuck is this for?
Stony Creek had the regular screenings, but on the weekend.
Yeah. Fucking who the fuck is anyway?
Regular I didn't see I only saw 40X or AVX screenings.
I saw regular screenings on the Sunday.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably like 2 in the afternoon. Stars and strollers.
1 and 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I first of all, so it already started off with frustration that I have to fucking drive way out of my way for a regular screening.
They invented scene points.
Yeah, I know. But I wasn't going to blow my load on Venom 3.
I blew my load on Venom 3.
You shouldn't have.
Why not?
I actually
thank
Christ I did.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I don't know. This movie is
Let me set the table.
that's what
let me set the table.
Yeah.
So
Picking up immediately after Venom 2.
after Venom 2, where he's in the bar in, I guess, the MCU universe.
Yeah.
And he gets pulled back into his universe.
Yeah.
To which Venom says, I hate this multiverse bullshit. To which We all do.
Same.
Same girl. Same. And then we find out that he's on the run again because he's wanted for murder. And as usual. And he's also on the run from these space monster things that want to capture Venom because he has a codex, which is short form for MacGuffin, that can set free this supreme being of the universe who has been imprisoned by all of the symbiotes.
Yes.
And the only way he can come out of the prison is if he has the codex, which means that Venom needs the codex is the key, and Venom needs to die in order to give him.
Yes, but also the only way to create the codex is for one of them to initially die and then both come back to life.
Yes. And the only way to set that these monster things can find Venom is when
to be in full Venom.
He's in full Venom mode. And if he's not in full Venom mode, then they can't see him.
Have we lost you yet?
It's a lot. I've lost myself.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Honestly, like the first 2 minutes of this movie before we even get to the bar scene is most of that. It's literally just an exposition dump on the jump of like, here's everything you need to know about this bad guy. Now, don't worry about anything about this bad guy because who gives a fuck? He's useless. He's worthless. Don't think about him. Don't even worry about him.
You'll see him in a sequel.
Oh, God. Yeah, I guess.
Will you?
He's the big bad in Spider-Man 4. That's what we're gearing up for.
There's no way he's going to be the big bad in Spider-Man 4.
I don't know if Marvel proper will let that happen.
I don't think, no.
But who the fuck knows? Why they're doing?
Why the fuck? What?
Maybe
this goes back to the uncut gems. Why are you showing me something if I can't fucking have it?
You know what they show you and you can't fucking have? Venom horse.
You had to have known that was just going to be a fucking
I needed more Venom horse, okay? Yeah. If you guys know about the Venom horse, it's in the trailer. Venom becomes a horse.
It's the best thing of the trailer.
A horse, and and Eddie Brock is on his back and he's zooming through the desert type thing. Yeah. Literally, the entirety of Venom horse is in the trailer, and it is very upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah. So the rest of the movie is Eddie Brock and Venom running away from the thing that can only see the thing when he's in full Venom mode,
as well as this secret group in area.
Secret
military group.
That's a storyline. B storyline,
Area 55
is Area 51 specifically. It is Area 51.
No, it's Area 55.
They're Area 55.
They're Area 55.
Decommissioning Area 51. This is very integral to the plot. They are decommissioning Area 51.
Man, the amount of times I heard
deep underneath Area 51, there is Area 55.
Yes, and in that,
there are multiple other symbiotes that have been captured.
They have captured most of the other symbiotes, and Juno Temple is there. And she is a scientist with one dead arm.
Yes.
And we have a whole bunch of backstory for a character that has nothing to do with anything.
Yes.
It doesn't matter at all. And in Area 55, deep underground, where her brother would be so proud of her, they built an entire huge lab studying aliens and mainly the symbiotes. And from that...
And they want to get Venom.
Yes, of course they want Venom. Venom is the last missing thing for their collection.
So they are on the hunt for Eddie and Venom, as well as this monster thing. And then the C storyline is that there's a family led by Rhys Ifans, who I love, who are trying to travel to Area 51
cash in all of his savings. He took his family on a road trip because he wants to see Area 51 before they close it forever because
he wants to see
it. No, he believes in aliens.
He wants to see an alien.
Yeah, he wants to see an alien.
Yeah.
And at one point, he picks up Eddie Brock.
Yes. And so at one point, all three of these storylines combine.
Yes.
In different ways.
Yes. There is a lot going on in this movie. And I don't know how you simplify it. It just felt like they had a lot of ideas and they needed to close it off somehow. So they threw a lot of bullshit into the movie. And certain things only exist because they need they need the payoff later. Like this whole family thing, like it only exists for one reason, and it comes at the end of the movie. Like the rest of you could just cut the rest of it out.
Yeah.
It's borderline useless.
Yeah, there's a lot that's happening in here that feels completely as a matter of convenience, as a matter of a scriptwriter that needed someone to get somewhere, so they needed something to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's very much like this is the epitome of movies got a movie. Like that's it. Like it's literally it's plot conveniences for plot convenience's sake only. Like even, you know, probably one of the most fun parts of the movie is there's an entire side where Eddie and Venom go to Vegas.
Yes.
And for the most part, the beginning part of that is actually pretty enjoyable. Like him trying to get into the Paris casino and being denied, and then getting the suit, and then getting in, and then playing slots, which is very good.
His tux being the tryout for James Bond type thing, which is bullshit.
But whatever, it's very good. Like it's that whole scene is very fun and entertaining. It's Venom
being
and
a Venom movie.
Yes, I like this. And then suddenly the convenience store lady is also there, and she's a high roller because she's been winning constantly. So they gave her a penthouse suite, and all of that is only purpose is to set up the fact that it could be a penthouse suite at this fucking hotel because they need it to be up there for later, and they can also have enough space to do a dance. That's it. I don't care how fun the dance is. It was so fucking like Jesus.
You missed the point that they're still on the run from that monster thing, and if he goes full Venom, he's going to set off the monster.
Oh yeah, and Venom was very clear about that. He was like, "We can't do it. We can't go full Venom. If we go full Venom, we're going to call this thing in." The last time he went full Venom was to save his ass because they were about to die, and they called in the giant fucking xenophage that's after them so that they could fucking escape.
Because basically like a wood chipper.
Yeah, basically.
Like a monster wood chipper thing.
Yeah, it works.
That you can't kill. So I guess it's kind of like the Grimace. You can't kill the Grimace, so you can't kill this monster.
You can't kill this monster. So
not even a fucking jet engine can kill this monster.
So
what happened to that airplane full of people with the one engine being
they're dead. They're all dead.
Did the plane crash? Did they emergency land in the desert?
They are spread out across the valley that Venom was like, "Oh, look, it's so beautiful." If they waited 5 more minutes, it just would have been littered with corpses.
Barely an inconvenience.
But anyway, all this to say, Venom was very clear that like he did that as a life-saving measure, but no more. Can't do it. And he's very, very much hidden and tucked away for all of it. Until this dance scene, and then he's like, no, fuck it, we're gonna dance. And it's like, did you just forget like a day ago what the fuck you just said and why? Like, you said
a day ago,
rules.
30 seconds ago.
It wasn't 30 seconds ago. Like, I guess it was night. That happened earlier in the day because
they
of the
had already
whole van.
set it up.
This is true. Anyway, insane. It's an insane choice. Everything is a matter of convenience. Everything was a matter of like, oh, we need this to happen, so this has to happen first. Like, it was directed by the writer of the last 3, co-writer of the first one, full writer of these 2, and like it feels like a writer directed this movie. Like everything is just convenient for convenience for convenience for convenience for convenience. Like I just don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, and then the end is another CGI bullshit.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It's edited very badly.
Yeah,
and then it just fucking ends.
Yeah,
I have a soft spot for the first 2 Venom movies.
Sure.
Because I think Tom Hardy is fucking great in both of them. Him going full
Hardy is great.
Him going full Gonzo, jumping in the lobster tank and fucking eating lobster raw.
Oh, it's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
okay,
it's great.
And he is so good at this silly, at like playing off the silliness, and then they really lean into the queer romance in the second one.
Yeah.
Like between the two of them, and then they play into it a little bit here, but it's also like kind of like thrown in the back, so that they can have all of this fucking story playing out, because it's just exposition dump after exposition dump after exposition dump. Oh, I'm losing my shoes. Exposition dump. Oh, do you remember Stephen Graham when he was in the second one? Yeah. He's back for an exposition dump.
Yeah.
Juno Temple's here. Exposition
no one cares.
Dump. You have no real purpose. Chiwetel Ejiofor is here.
No one cares.
But no one really cares. who is this shadow organization?
Yeah, who the fuck is that guy? No one cares.
Is that guy?
Is it the general guy at the end? I don't know. No one cares.
Danny Rojas shows up for a bit.
No one
and he
cares.
doesn't say football is. He doesn't
What
say.
did they even do to him?
He doesn't say.
They just brought him to Area 55.
Football is life. They don't say it. Spoilers. He shows up in the end credits.
Yeah, I know, but like they brought him to Area 55. To what end?
Yeah. Yeah. He shows up in the end credit scene that is very much useless.
Yeah. I just was I don't know. I was kind of just bored through most of this.
I was so bored.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck, man?
They made a Venom movie boring.
Like, how do you?
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
Like you can't call the first. You can call the first two movies bad,
Yeah.
or you can say like I know a lot of people don't like them, but you can't.
They're not
you can't say
boring.
they're boring.
No, they're great. I unabashedly love Venom. I
Sure.
love the first one. No matter what, you can tell me it's shit all you want. I fucking love the first one.
Sure.
Second one, I was lukewarm on it when I first saw it, but it's grown on me.
Yeah.
Most of that is due to fucking Woody Harrelson, obviously.
Sure.
And
That's Carnage. Amazing.
That's Carnage.
Yeah.
And
Great.
he has better hair.
And he has
better hair in the second one than he does in the first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
The first one's a joke.
It's silly.
But the third one, what the fuck was that? Like, I called you guys immediately after I got out of the theater. I was
Yeah.
fucking angry.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. And I need to tell you guys this story. I wanted to tell you last night, but I wanted to tell you. So my screening was in 3D.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
First of all.
unfortunate.
Right?
First of all.
So
you
that-
saw a 3D
I saw it
movie
in
in
3D.
2024?
Right?
That's
right?
rough.
So I saw it in
Woof.
3D. There was about 7 people in the theater. I went
Rough.
in, you know, I'm flying high because like I'm like fucking Venom, so
Sure.
amped for this fucking movie. Remember, there's 7 people in the theater. Trailers go, everything's fine. When I'm watching the trailers, I see a guy beeline down the stairs. I'm like, oh, that guy seems like he's in a rush. Whatever. Right? 30 seconds later, he comes back up. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he just had to get a phone call or something.
Sure.
Right? Trailers go on. Keep in mind, in 3D movies, sometimes the trailers will be in
Please
3D.
put on your glasses.
Right? Trailers all played out. It was all good. And I was like, all right, yeah, we're gonna get to the movie.
Were any of the trailers in 3D or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting to
Okay.
that, James.
Oh, it's just- you brought it up, so I asked.
Remember, there's 7 people in the theater.
Yes. Do you have your glasses?
So the trailers all end,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it says, please put on your 3D glasses.
Yeah.
At that moment, I realized
Tony B.
I
didn't
don't
grab the
have my
glasses.
fucking glasses.
Yeah.
But remember, there's 7 people in the theater. 4 people in the
Ha!
theater got up and fucking beeline. They're like, oh shit.
That's
Because
amazing.
no one
That's
fucking
so
knew
great.
that it was in fucking 3D.
That's great.
So we're all fucking running out the door
Yeah.
looking for the fucking glasses.
Where's the bin?
They were
Yeah.
at the front. Were they not right there?
I don't know what the hell I was on, but I did not see the 3D glasses.
But
And I
it's-
didn't even remember.
it's-
I didn't even fucking remember that it was in
if
3D.
you didn't know, you wouldn't know. Like even in my regular screening, the glasses were there. I didn't grab them because mine wasn't in 3D. But like, yeah, if you didn't know, like sometimes you just walk past them because like whatever they were showing in there before was 3D.
But
right?
there was a collective just being like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, this movie's in 3D. All through the trailers, I was thinking to myself, I was like, wait, I thought this movie was in 3D. Why isn't it in 3D?
Yeah,
And then it happened. And I was like, fuck the
Shit.
glasses.
Yeah.
I thought I could go with the whole movie without the glasses, but like as soon like I saw the fucking the Columbia thing, and the Columbia thing was in full
God.
3D. I was like, fuck.
I love that. I love that
Yeah.
100. That
Yeah.
intro.
It's a very good
pretty
logo.
Cool. It's cool.
How was it in 3D?
Yeah,
Fucking 2024. Why the fuck does this still exist?
Yeah.
I don't
care.
care.
Did it
No.
look good in
No,
3D?
it
Did
looked
it look like
like it-
ass?
ass. When like the
Ass-tastic.
fucking when the tentacles and shit come out, it looks like it's flying at you. I'm just like, buddy, this was cool in 2000. It was cool when Terminator did it, and for fucking
Sure.
Hollywood Studios, we're past that now.
That wasn't Hollywood Studios. It was Universal Studios.
Universal Studios, whatever.
T2 whatever through time is a banger.
Yeah.
Straight
were there.
fire.
We were
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Did you know they got rid of it?
Yeah, I know. I'm glad we did. We saw it when we did.
I'm glad. Battle Through Time. That's what's
Battle
called.
through time. Anyways, 3D garbage.
Yeah.
Absolute garbage. I will say I did not pay an up price for the 3D. Thank
Oh, that's
Christ.
good.
Oh, thank God for that.
But I thought we were past this. Why are movies
Yeah.
in 3D still?
I don't know why this one was in 3D and like very much in 3D. There was so
Yeah.
many 3D screenings.
And there was like so many like
they want the money. They want that money.
so many gimmicks still. And I'm just like, we're past this. They like just no. We're done.
No.
This is over. The fad is over.
Yeah. I don't know. This movie,
Wicked's in 3D, and I think Moana's in 3D. So
Wicked can go fuck itself in 3D.
Those will be tough ones to get without 3D.
Oh, there's a way.
There's a way.
I know there's a way. It's just going to be a pain in the ass.
We'll just have to wait 4 weeks after it comes out.
Yeah.
We're
just going to have to wait until the day before it comes out so we can find the random regular screening that they put in.
Yeah.
I thought Tom Hardy looked bored. And that he wasn't
through
in
it. He literally slept
wasn't
through
in it to win it. He's in it to win it in the other two. He's gonzo in the other two. And this one, he just, like you said, he's bored.
He's bored out of his mind.
This movie, I know.
Sleeping through. I said bored. You said sleeping.
Yeah. I know this movie was impacted by the writers/actors strike. Like it was partially written and then partially done. And then the strikes happened and they came back to it. Which honestly, when you think about it, and Tom Hardy's performance, yes, to one thing, also his dialogue makes no fucking sense. There's points where it's so generic and open because I'm pretty sure none of the Venom shit was written. Like
that's fair.
They didn't even know what the fuck they were going to say next. So they're just like, Tom, put in something here. And he's like, okay. And it just, here's the most generic layup so that anything can fit with it. Like it felt very much like he was saying one thing, but sometimes like Venom would reply and it's like, did you hear what he said? Like, honestly, the most joy I had from this movie was when they were all in the van together driving, and I was like, "This could have been a fun movie, like a weird family driving across the USA with Venom movie would have been a weird
singing Ground Control to Major Tom."
Yes,
that was great.
See, there's a few very very key moments in here that you're like, "Oh man, this could have been cool," but it's wasted in this vast expanse of nothing.
It's just a wasted. It's a wasted opportunity.
There's a whole lot of like, if you don't like deep cut Venom stuff, that you have to like really look up to understand what the hell this is.
Yeah.
Because I know you guys were asking me about it. I was like, well, it's this. And you're like, well, how do you know that? And I'm like, well, I read it afterwards. And you're like, nerd.
Yeah.
But like, you have to read. Like, it's not like the Marvel movies where it's like you have to watch 100 movies to understand why fucking Thanos is there.
Yeah.
This you have to like
seen the other two.
Do background fucking research.
Like, you gotta read the comics, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense. And again, when you introduce that, it's so wasted.
Yeah.
Because it's like that could have been
for.
Like who exactly? Who is it for? Like it's such a wasted opportunity because you could have expanded. You could have made this movie fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you just
well, it's
gave
a
us
Venom movie. I don't think it was going to be cool. No matter
and look,
what.
like we've talked about like sometimes there's just movies that it's not for me. It's not made for me. That works in certain niche situations. We're talking about a Texas Chainsaw or a Society. Like there's niche things like, you know what, this isn't for me. But not when you make a mass appeal movie, like a comic book movie like Venom. You can't be like, oh, this one's for the nerds. No, because that's not your goal. Your goal is to make a shitload of money. So you got to make it as wide reaching as possible. But yet I left there going, okay. And then Dave is like, oh, but did you know that it was this? And I was like, fuck no. I don't know that it would have helped, but
it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't.
Like, I didn't know what the fuck that this was a reference to some bullshit.
It just feels like a lot of wasted references and a lot of just like throwing things together that they're hoping will pay off later.
Yeah.
But they probably won't.
Yeah.
Like, I'd watch this again before Madam Web. Like, I know you guys love Madam Web for some reason, but I'm not going to watch. I'm not watching Madame Web again. I love me some Sydney Sweeney. I love me some Dakota Johnson.
Oh no,
I love me some Shoshana from fucking Girls. Not watching this movie ever again.
I might watch Morbius again, but
why do we keep coming back to that?
Dave, because it's Morbid time.
Jesus. I saw the trailer for Kraven the Hunter. I'm still excited for Kraven the Hunter.
I am foaming at the mouth for Kraven the Hunter.
I don't know that I am. I don't know what it wants to be, but I don't know. It's like there's now 3 movies in a row.
Alessandro Nivola is the Rhino? Come on.
Is that who he plays?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Did you not see the rhino in the trailer?
I saw the rhino, but it doesn't make that connection. That fucking
No, there's a moment he's looking at his skin.
he's looking at his skin. Oh, give me a fucking
there you
break.
go. There you go.
So you said 3 movies. They've already struck out twice.
Thrice.
No, twice.
Oh, sure.
Madame Web, Venom, fucking the strikeout's going to be.
Oh, this year. Okay.
This year.
He's mentioning Morbius.
I was looping Morbius into this.
No.
I was like,
I'm saying
most recent.
So Sony's been shitting the bed this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers fucking crossed, but I'm not going to get my fucking hopes up. Hopefully Craven's like, watchable.
Yeah. I mean, they're not shitting the bed as bad as Lionsgate has been, but
yeah, they fucking tested Craven. See, they did what fucking DC didn't do. They tested Craven. They got shit review, and they went back.
Yeah,
and they fixed it.
We hope.
They put some effort. They put some effort, and they changed some things.
They put some effort into adjusting it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
It's a fun trailer.
What you get with Venom: The Last Dance is you get the titular Last Dance
and a lot of missed opportunities
and
such a
lot of noise that means nothing to anybody, and by the end of it you just kind of leave and go, sure.
Why the fuck is that Memory song in there?
You're still mad about that.
I wanted to rip the fucking chair in front of me. That song and just like it's a trigger. It's a trigger. Don't do it. I'm gonna fucking strangle you with this cord, James.
I think it's to James's point when he was talking about being impacted by the writer's strike. It feels kind of like a hodgepodge of a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And it feels like a movie that doesn't really please anybody.
Yeah.
And it just like they kind of had to just
they wanted a movie for everybody, but they made it for nobody.
Yeah. And yeah, I was just kind of
Yeah.
I didn't go in with expectations, but I was still pretty disappointed with it.
Yeah. It's interesting that I was gonna say like this was Tom Hardy's last one, and that also to that point, it's like this is what you decided to go out on.
Yeah, because he did some of the story.
Yeah. But then also money.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's happy to get out of the fucking Marvel mold and just go back to him being a character actor.
I mean, you say that, and then you read a quote like Jim Carrey will never touch another script unless it's gold, and then the next movie he's making Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So
he's only making Sonic movies now.
I guess because he makes bank. Is gold.
He makes bank. It's because he makes bank.
It's gonna be the Citizen Kane of Sonic movies.
You need to stop hating on Sonic the Hedgehog.
He is the best part of that franchise because it's sure as shit not Ben Schwartz.
You know what I never saw? Sonic the Hedgehog 2, because I don't fucking care.
I still haven't seen Sonic 2.
If you hated the first one, you're just
I didn't hate the first one. I just didn't care.
Like Idris Elba is Knuckles.
Yeah.
And fucking Keanu Reeves is Shadow. Come on.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't have a level of love
Shadow's
for Sonic.
in the third one, right?
Shadow's in the third one.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's Keanu.
It's fucking Keanu, man.
That's nice.
It's fucking Keanu, man.
That's nice. Anyway.
Did you guys see the trailer for One of Them Days?
Yes.
Looks fun.
It does look fun.
It looks silly, but it looks fun.
Looks super silly.
I had a couple of chuckles watching it.
Give me like some Friday vibes to it in a way.
A lot of Friday vibes.
Yeah. And I was very like, ooh, I'm on board with this. And it was like produced by Issa Rae. Fuck yeah, I'm on board.
I just love Cat Williams. Cat Williams keeps showing up. Yeah. I was like, I love you, Cat Williams. Cat. Yeah, it definitely just feels like a hangout movie. Yeah. I hadn't seen the trailer. I didn't know that movie existed.
No, me either.
Until it was on. I was like,
is this?
I was like, this looks fun.
That'll be a good time in January.
We're playing that game of like, have we seen this movie at TIFF by now? And like this one was like, oh shit, I don't even know what the fuck this is.
You know what I've noticed this week and last week? I feel very bougie saying it, but it's like, I want to go to the movies, but I've seen literally everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason is because I saw them all at TIFF.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, but I want to go see something, but I've seen everything.
I'm still encouraging people to go see Conclave.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're considering going to see Venom, don't go see Conclave.
Yeah, go see Conclave instead.
Yeah.
Or We Live in Time.
Yeah.
Or save your money and just wait for Anora.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to see that movie bad.
Yeah. I want to go badly too. Yeah. I already saw it and I need to see it bad again.
Bad.
I need Gladiator 2.
No, you don't.
I need it.
You don't.
I need it so bad.
No, you don't. Don't ever get your hopes up for Ridley Scott.
That's true.
ever get your hopes up for Ridley Scott.
If you don't get your hopes up, he can't disappoint you. He can't let you down.
Exactly. Don't say you need it bad. Say you're interested in seeing it, but do not give Ridley Scott that much hope. I'm still waiting for the fucking super extended theatrical crazy extended director's cut of Napoleon.
It's there. It's on Apple Plus.
Oh, is it there now?
Yeah.
Great. Is it 4.5 hours long?
I think it's like 3.5.
Great.
Where's the hyper extended House of Gucci? Were we supposed to get like a mini series?
I think we're.
Oh my god! I saw a fucking reel this week where it was just like remember when this guy thought he was gonna get an Oscar nom for this?
And I know what the sheet tastes like.
I try to forget I saw that. I saw that movie in theaters.
So did I.
try to forget.
I did too.
We all saw it in theaters because we talked about it on this show.
I try to forget I saw that movie.
Classic.
That movie was painful.
Can't believe that movie exists.
But to close out this fucking hunk of shit, that is Venom 3. Are you guys recommending it?
No.
Absolutely the fuck not.
No. Someone asked me today, they're like, oh, did you see Venom? I was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, so any good? Like, do you recommend seeing it? I was like, no. Not even on a Tuesday? No. Wait. This isn't even, I would say maybe vaguely if you got 7 tubs of laundry to fold so that you're very distracted because you got to like organize all these clothings, then watch it. Otherwise, don't.
If you got to complete your list on Letterboxd.
Yeah, if you're a completionist, sure.
Cream that shit into the bin.
Yeah,
it's bad. I was thinking about waiting to buy the trilogy on 4K. I think I'll just buy the I'll buy the 2-pack.
Yep.
Forget the last one.
I got Venom on Blu-ray and I got Venom 2 on Steelbook 4K. I'm good.
That's it. That's enough.
It.
Yeah, it's a hard no from us.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, at least it'll be cheaper to get the 2-pack.
Yeah,
yep.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. Get it now. Well, it's still a little bit cheaper. Or well, it's probably cheaper now.
Okay,
before it goes away.
Before we get to Dave's New Blues, I want to ask a controversial question to the group.
Yeah.
Spoilers, there's no new blues.
There's no new blues, so take your time.
They're all coming in in the next like day or so. The new Zodiac came in today. Yeah. Looks amazing. Want to watch it.
Yeah,
Didn't get to play it yet.
Fuck.
We'll get there.
Okay, controversial question.
Sure.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Venom Last Dance.
Yeah.
Or Joker Folie à Deux.
Ooh.
Joker.
Yeah.
It fucking pains me to say I liked Joker better.
Yeah. It's Joker. Joker's the more watchable one.
More watchable.
Because it's not boring. No. I mean, it's got it's not great. It's a mess, but it's
a bad movie.
I wasn't bored.
At least Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga are trying.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Miss Gaga. Tom Hardy's not doing anything. Like he is sleeping through the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, he's doing something that I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
how fucking sad is that? That pains me.
It is painful because he has fun with his roles.
Yeah. He fucking gives it 100%, 110% in almost everything he does.
It's not this one.
Not this one.
Not even that I was going into this movie with high hopes or anything, but like this, it's just such a fundamental step down.
Yeah.
From the performance that he delivered in the last two and everything that the last two delivered at all.
Yeah.
Like, again, as I kind of led off at the top of this, like you say what you will about the Venom 1 and 2 at this point, at least they weren't boring.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the first one's got Riz Ahmed. I love me some Riz Ahmed.
Yeah, exactly. There's good things.
But I do also love me some Juno Temple, but she's fucking wasted.
She's so useless.
Chiwetel wasted. You have two huge, like really good, solid actors wasting them.
Also, what's with all these British actors that they're casting and everybody, no one's using an English accent?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's strange. Like literally all of them.
Like they're all fucking Brits.
Hardy, Ejiofor, Temple, Stephen Graham, and Rhys Ifans. They all are from that side of the world.
Yeah, all American accents.
I was low key hoping that Rhys just turns into a lizard.
Yeah,
I was hoping. I was really hoping.
Yeah,
that would have been the swing.
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe. I thought they were going to turn her into the lizard because the lizard has a bomb arm too.
Yeah. See, missed opportunities.
Oh, well.
What can you do? Cream that shit into the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just wrap up our episode then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll be back sort of slightly later.
Slightly earlier too, maybe.
Slightly earlier?
Yeah.
All right.
Who knows?
You're just
Who
throwing
knows?
off my schedule, man.
I'm sorry, I'm
don't
throwing
like
off the
this.
schedule. I'm
This
throwing off the
is-
schedule, but you know,
The world could be in civil war in 2 weeks. Who knows?
Yeah, but
hopefully
over,
you'll hear back from us in November.
Yes, you'll definitely hear back from us in
If
November, of
you
course.
are American,
Best
please-
of luck.
please go vote.
Godspeed.
But please go vote.
Yeah. Yes. Don't stay home.
Yeah.
Vote.
Vote. Get your ass up and vote.
My girlfriend's who's a dual citizen in the States, got her ballot yesterday, voted all online.
Excellent.
So if she can do it from a whole different country, you can do it.
It's true. It's true.
Do your part.
But anyway, I'm still Jimmy, and I'm here as always with
Big T Tony B.
and
Dazzling Dave.
there we go. We're back to the right way, and with that, Father, Son, and House of Gucci.
Oh, fuck me.